share it. There we go. Okay, ladies, great job. So we are going to come up to standing. If you've got a ball, grab it. If you haven't got a ball, don't worry. Just have free hands for me for a moment. And we're just going to start with our breath work. So feet hip distance apart, standing comfortably, nice and tall through the body, nice and relaxed through those shoulders, handing that ball, holding that ball, or nothing if you haven't got a ball, just long here. We can soften our gaze, or we can close our eyes, whichever feels more comfortable for you this evening. And we're just going to take a few breaths here. So we're going to breathe in through the nose, and then out through the mouth. Just taking the time to find that pattern of breath. Seeing if we can make the exhale that little bit longer, that little bit stronger than the inhale. As we take the breath in, we're thinking about filling those ribs round to the side and the back of the body. And as we exhale, we're thinking about lifting up through the pelvic floor, connecting through our center to release the air. I want you to feel the floor with your feet, feeling the weight between the big toe, the little toe, and the heel. Have a little sway forwards and backwards for me. Feel the transfer of the weight. And maybe side to side. And see if you can find that point where you feel equal, you feel balanced, and you feel comfortable. And maybe you'll feel like you're a little bit more forward than you perhaps expected. On your next breath, we're going to take the arms up overhead and then bring them back down. And again, those arms are just going to travel up overhead and then come back down again. So just stay nice and tall through the body. Try not to overextend through the spine. But try not to stick your ribs out, basically. Just keep nice and tall. We're going to go for another couple here. And then we're going to start to bring in a flexion as we go into a forward fold. Take the arms up overhead for me. As we exhale, soften, bring the arms down, around through the back of the neck. You can soften the knees, curling over, letting the arms hang and relax, the head hang and relax, all the way down towards the bottom, wherever you can reach this evening. Take a breath in at the bottom for me, and then exhale, pick up from underneath, pick up from the hips, scoop the tummy in. Let those shoulders sit back and down. The head comes back on top. Take that breath in, take the arms back up overhead. Again, as we exhale, we're going to bring the arms down, round the chin down towards the chest, rounding through that spine, folding over, like we're diving into a pool of water, all the way down to the bottom, wherever you get. Soft bend in the knees if we need it. Breath in at the bottom for me. When you're ready, uncurl. Start with the pelvis, tuck the pelvis, stack the spine, straighten up through those legs, reset the shoulders back and down, bring the head back onto the top. Inhale, take those arms up overhead. Exhale, soften forward and down, diving in, rounding through that spine, lifting up through that center, coming all the way down. Breath in at the bottom here. Exhale to come back up. Resetting the spine. Keep the arms long for me down by the front of the body. Reset the head. Amazing stuff. Okay. Take your hands out to the side. Again, if you've got a ball, you can just hold it onto one hip. If you haven't got anything, that's absolutely fine. Right hand's going to stay where it is. The left hand is going to come up overhead. We're going to go into some lateral flexion as we reach over towards that right side, lifting out of the hips, and then restacking and coming back over. Bring the arm back down by the side of your legs and reach down towards your knee, taking it in a counter stretch. Coming back up through the center. Inhale, take the arm up over your head. Exhale, lifting up and over, working our way over. Coming back through the center, bringing the arm down by the side of the leg, and then reaching down the side of the leg towards the knee. And back up to center. And again, one more up and over. Like a standing mermaid almost. Bringing that hand down. And again, reaching down towards the knee. We're going to do the same on the other side. So I'm just going to swap the ball over. And again, reaching up on the inhale breath. Arm up towards the air, reaching up towards the ceiling, lifting up as we go over. So we're trying to create a little space between the ribs as we go over. And then reaching down, keeping those hips level as we go over. Inhale, bringing that arm back up. Reaching up and over, creating that space. Coming back in, bringing the arm back down. And again, over. One more here, bringing the arm up. Lifting up, flexing over. Back through the middle, arm down by the side. Last time, reaching down towards that knee. Coming back to the center. Fabulous, excuse me. Okay. Bring your hands to your chest. Prayer hands here, or either side of the ball. Keeping your feet nice and central, nice and comfortable position. Shoulders relaxed and down. Elbows nice and wide for me. We're going to add a little rotation into our movement. So we're going to start with an inhale breath. As we exhale, we're going to twist around to the right. Try and keep your hips forward for me. Keep your gaze to the top of your fingers, the top of your ball, back through to the center. We take it to the opposite side. Exhale as we rotate round. Inhale, back to the center. And again, exhale as we rotate. So it's not a particularly big movement. And back into the center. And again, exhale as we rotate. Back into our center. And again, exhale as we rotate. Coming back into the center. One more time, we're going to go on each side. Finding that lovely movement. That last one, elbows staying nice and wide. And then release the hands back down. So we're going to add in a little bit of a balance challenge. So Georgie, you can clap your hands underneath your legs. If you've got a ball, we're going to be passing the ball underneath our legs. So we start with the legs, maybe hip distance wide, maybe a little bit more, not too much. We find that balance between those 2 feet. We're going to pick up the right leg, ball is on the right side, and lift up to tabletop. From here, we're going to pass the ball underneath to the opposite hand, place the foot down. We pick up the other leg, and again, pass the ball underneath. So we transfer the weight from one foot to the other, peeling the feet off the floor, picking those legs up to tabletop as we do. As we find the coordination and the balance, we can start to add a little bit more speed. This is great for our ankle stability, just a little bit of coordination challenge here. Perfect, Roger. We're just going to do a couple more of these, and then we're going to freeze, leg up, hold it here. Just take the ball to the side just to get it out of the way. Place your other hand on your hip for me. So I'm now frozen with my leg in that tabletop position. We're going to reach that leg out in front, straighten it, and then bend it back in. We're going to reach it out in front, bend it back in. I'm just going to do the same from the side. Then reach it out in front, bend it back in. So I'm testing the stability and the strength of my ankle, my standing leg. I'm just breathing through that movement. I'm going to do another 3, and 2, and 1, Bring that leg back in and back down. I'm swapping straight to the opposite side. Again, just taking the ball to the other hip. Again, taking that leg up into that tabletop position. And when we're ready, we're going to straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. Try and stand level with the hips. Make sure you keep breathing. Remember the tripod in your feet, big toe, little toe, heel. That's going to help you feel balanced and connected. I could have added the arms as well, couldn't I? That would have been fun. I won't now. 3, 2, last one, in and down, release. Good job. Okay, so we're going to come down to the mat. Come down to the head of the mat for me. And we're going to roll down towards the floor. So we'll do that forward fold down. Taking the breath in through the nose, exhaling down. Just roll yourself down towards the floor, forward fold it down. When you reach the floor, soften the knees for me. Push the ball away from you and just walk out into a 4-point kneeling position. Okay. So we want our hands underneath our shoulders, shoulder width apart, and our knees underneath our hips. And we're just going to soften those feet down onto the floor. We're going to take the ball underneath the right hand and create a little bit of instability in this position. You want to be connected through the front of the body, lifting through the back of the body, so we're not sinking into our backs here. We're going to take it into a bit of a cat stretch to start with. So we're going to tuck the tailbone under around the spine, drop the head down, push the floor away from you, and then release. And again, push the floor away from you, tuck the tailbone under, drop the head, round that spine, and then release. We're going to do one more on this side, tucking the tailbone under, dropping that head, and then release. Take the ball to the opposite hand for me. Same again. When you're ready, tuck the tailbone under, push through the ball, push through the floor, drop the head down, and release. And again, push the floor away, tuck the tailbone under, lift up through your pelvic floor, get that extra stretch, and release. We're going to do one more here, pushing the floor away, tucking that tailbone under here, and release. Great job, okay. Take the ball back to the first hand for me. So we're going to work with the ball across the floor. We're just going to reach forward and then draw it back in. So finding a bit of length. Now your spine position wants to stay relatively stable and flat. So we've still got a lift through the front of the body. We feel supported. The hand that's not on the ball is going to be working quite hard. And if you don't have a ball, just glide the fingers in and out on the floor. Works just as well. The ball just creates a little bit of extra instability for us. Or you could use a cushion for some of these exercises. Okay, for a couple more here. And then we're going to pause and hold it here. I'm just moving so I've got room behind me. Okay, so we're going to add in an opposite leg movement. So we're going to reach the hand with the ball away and the opposite leg away, keeping the back nice and straight, nice and strong, drawing everything back in. And again, we're going to reach that hand away, reach the leg away, the back stays stable, and we come back in. And again, we're going to reach away and come back in. Reach away and come back in. We're going to do a couple more here for me. Reach away and come back in. Last one, reach away and come back in. This time we're going to add an extension. You can come off the other wrist if you need to. We're going to reach away and then we're going to lift and hold. Just take the hand off the ball to lift. When you lift, make sure you don't drop into the lower back. Keep nice and long through the spine. Lower back down and draw back in. Reach away, lift and hold, nice and long, toe to fingertip, drop back down and draw back in. And again, reach away, lift and hold, drop back down and draw back in. One more here, reach away, lift and hold, drop back down and draw back in. Come off that wrist for me. Just rotate your wrist. Yeah. So we need to do the same on the other side. So setting up position just as before, making sure you've got space to move, hand on the ball. Just start with a forward and back movement, gently finding that control. Rest of the body nice and quiet, nice and still for me. Just a really nice, gentle way to warm up that shoulder joint. I'm just going to do a couple more here. Then we'll start to add in that opposite leg into the movement. So when you're ready, as you reach the hand away, reach the opposite leg away and draw back in. No, we're just keeping it down on the floor to start with as we find that control, making sure that we're not dropping into the lower back. We're keeping everything strong, everything steady. I'm not rushing the movement, drawing back and in, drawing back and in. Great job, ladies. So everything's just working forward and back. Okay. So when you're ready, we're going to add in that lift. So we're going to reach away, lift to shoulder height, bottom height, hold, lower back down and then draw back in. And again, reach away, fingers to toes, lift and hold. Don't dump into that lower back, keep nice and strong. Drop back down, draw back in. Reach and lift, lower, come back in. Reach and lift, lower, come back in. So that opposite arm is working hard to stabilize, keep you upright, as long as that core supporting the back of your body. We're just going to do 2 more. Up, down, and in. Last one, out, and lift, and lower, and in. Sit yourself back into child's pose, just to rest. Give those wrists a little rotation, whatever they need to feel good. And it's super warm in here tonight, so excuse me, opening the door. There we go. There you go. Okay, from here, ladies, we're going to put our cushions or our balls underneath our bottom, so underneath your hips. Bear with me. So lying down onto the mat, ball or cushion underneath the hips. So just creating a little bit of instability for us to work with. So first of all, find that sweet spot where you feel like you can balance with your feet down on the floor. Create the length through the spine for me. Length through the neck, length through the crown of the head. You want your nose pointing up towards the ceiling. If you feel like you're looking back, you might benefit from a very small cushion under your head just to give you a little bit of extra lift through the neck. Press down through the palms of the hands into the floor, or you can turn your hands in towards the side and press down through the little fingers, either or, whichever you find more stabilizing. So already by being on an unstable surface, which is a ball or a cushion, the core muscles are working to keep you here, to keep you still. I want you to keep this stillness, this quietness through your center as we bring in some leg movement. So when you're ready, we're going to bring one leg up to tabletop, and then we're going to place that foot back down. So the movement's coming right from the hip, lifting up to tabletop, and then placing that down. So like a slow march or a walk, as we take it from one side to the other. So super controlled, not rushing. Hopefully doesn't feel too bad right now. Nice and straightforward. Up to tabletop, back down. Right from the hip, it's not just the knee dropping, it's that whole leg moving in that slow march. So we're going to up the ante a little bit. I want you to bring that first leg up into tabletop and then hold it here for me. And then when you're ready, using your next exhale breath, bring that second leg up into tabletop. There's still a little bit of space between my legs. They're not glued together. I'm just holding now in that tabletop position. So I've created that instability. Stay here on the ball for me. We're going to do that same movement. We're going to tap one toe down and then bring it back up. And then we're going to tap the other foot down and bring it back up. Again, making sure the movement's coming from the hip, so the whole leg is moving to tap the toe down, but we're not just dropping from the knee. So you'll start to feel this in the quads, the hip flexors, as well as that core working super hard to stabilize you. So nice, slow, controlled movement. Now, if you're thinking, this is great, Paula, I can do this all night, let's see if we can bring opposite hand up and down as you move the feet. So we take away one of those points of stability. So we add in marching arms with that leg movement. And if you're thinking, yeah, I can do that, Paula, that's not a problem. Bring both hands above your chest. Ooh, balance. And do one arm overhead, one foot down, opposites, and then come back in. And the same on the other side. And in. And now we have to work even harder to stabilize. Try and keep the non-moving leg, non-moving arms still. Ah! There we go. Wobbling myself tonight. Feeling a little tired. In and out. Great job. Keep going, ladies. It's hard work on the ball. If you're thinking, no, it's not. Actually, Paula, I'm feeling really strong tonight. You can do a double toe tap, double arm reach, up and down. And Georgia, if your quads were burning before, they're probably feeling a bit burning now. Apologies. Let's see if we can do a couple more. Now remember, at any point you can go back to any previous iteration of the exercise. They're always optional. I've forgotten how many I've done, so I'm just going to do one more. And in, and then I'm going to hug my knees towards my chest and just take a moment to rest and move my drink so I can see you. There we go. Well done. Oh, not easy. Not easy at all. Okay. So we're going to stay on the ball for a little bit longer. We're going to put our hands down by the side of our bodies once again. And I'm just going to make sure that ball hasn't rolled away, or that cushion hasn't rolled away. So just nice and supported under my bottom. It's not on my spine at all. It's just in that hip area. Okay. Ladies, when you're ready, we're going to bring those legs back up into a tabletop position. One leg, then the other. Hold it here. Okay. Keep the separation between the knees for me. Keep the arms down by your side. Straighten one leg up towards the ceiling for me. And then bend it back down. And then bring the other leg up and back down. So a lengthen and a bend, and lengthen and a bend. Feels quite nice. This is just the warm up, right? This is just to get those hamstrings waking up. Okay. Lengthen, flex the foot at the top for me, stretch down the back of the leg, point the toe and bend. Lengthen the leg, flex the foot at the top, point the toe and then bend. And again, lengthen, flex, point, bend, lengthen, flex, point, bend. Nice choreography, everyone. Great job. And lengthen one leg, hold it there. Can you lengthen both legs? So we've got both legs up towards the ceiling. Hold them here for me. Okay, so we're going to use some control and some breath work. Take an inhale breath for me. Start to lower the right leg down. Keep the left leg up towards the ceiling. Only go so far as you feel that you can control the movement, that you're not going to lose that control. And then when you get to the end of your range, take a little breath in and then exhale. Pick that leg slowly back up to the top. We're going to do the same on the other leg. We're going to take a breath at the top. We're going to exhale, lower the leg away from us. Control, control, control. Try and keep that pelvis steady. Sniff of air at the bottom. Exhale, pick that leg back up slowly, 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 up to the top. And again, down we go. Breathe out. All the way down, point of control. Sniff of air at the bottom. Exhale, come up, come up, come up, come up, come up. Other leg slowly down. Really nice control, everyone. Pick that leg back up, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up. Et voila. Okay, stay here with the legs for me. Okay, we're going to open the legs at the top, make a V for me. Squeeze those inner thighs together. Lower one leg down towards the bottom, hold it there. Bring the other leg down towards the bottom, hold it there. Open the legs at the bottom, make a V at the bottom. Close them. Bring the legs back up towards the top. Ooh. Make a V at the top for me. Lower one leg down towards the bottom. Bring the other leg down to join it. Make a V. Close it. Lift those legs back up to the top. Oh la la, let's go again. V at the top. One leg lower. Two legs lower. V. Up to the top. Okay, hold it here. We're going to draw some circles with our legs. So using that V, make a V at the top for me. Sweep the legs round to the side, bring them in at the bottom, lift them up in the middle. Beautiful stuff. Let's tie it with the breath. Inhale to open the V. Exhale to sweep the legs down and around. Take a sniff at the bottom, bring them back up. And again, inhale. Exhale. And up. Inhale. Exhale. And lift. One more. Open. Circle. Together. And lift. Can we reverse it? What do we reckon? Down through the middle. Open at the bottom. Out to the side, up to the top. That's nice, right? Down through the middle. Open at the bottom. Up to the top. Beautiful stuff. Well done, ladies. Down again. Down. Open. Circle those legs up. And back down. Are we still on those balls? Well done. Last one. Round up to the top. Curl the knees in. Point your bottom off the ball and just go, oh, that feels nice to come back down to the ground. Hug the knees into the chest for me. Just give them a really nice circle. And I'm going to stretch those quads out for you now because I feel like they deserve it. They work quite hard. Pop your feet down. Roll over onto your tummies for me. Just put the ball under the chest if you've got it and you want to. If not, don't worry. Just relax onto that ball or to the cushion. Create a pillow for your head. And just reach those feet away from you. Pick up one leg. Bring that heel in towards your bottom for me. If you've got the flexibility through the shoulders, you can reach back and grab that foot and draw it in a little bit closer. Again, if that doesn't feel nice on your knees, don't do it. Just go for a shorter range. The ball really is just there, providing a bit of cushion support. Again, if you've got that range of movement in your knees, you can lift up the quad or find a feeling of lift to really deepen that quad stretch, opening up through those hip flexors. pushing the hips down towards the floor, and then release, let that foot go. Let's do the same on the other side. Bring that heel in towards the bottom. Grab it if you can. Hold it here for a breath or two. And then try and find a feeling of lift through that quad. Hold it here. And then release. Okay, take the ball away and just come up into a forearm position. Fingertips forward, lifting up through the chest, so we're not sinking into the shoulders, so we're rising up through that chest. So the top of my hip bones are coming off the mat, my tummy is off the mat, I'm lifting up through that chest as that gaze forward. My glutes are engaged, I'm squeezing my bottom. So we're going to add to that little quad stretch with our leg pull front. So we're going to kick our bottom towards our heel with a double pulse, point the toe, lengthen and straighten. We're going to kick the other leg, kick, kick, point the toe, lengthen and straighten. We're going to do this while trying to feel like we're lifting those thighs off the floor. It's going to be working into those hamstrings. Lift and kick, lower, lift and kick, lower, lift and kick, lower. Keep lifting up through your shoulders, try not to drop through the upper body. Exhale, exhale, release. Exhale, exhale, release. Great job, keep going. One more. Last one, kick, kick, release. Push yourself up. Sit into a quick child's pose for me. Round that spine back and down. Bring the arms down by the side of your body. Just let it all quieten. And just take another breath or two here. Really nice work. Okay. Staying on our tummies, if you like, or in this forward position, I want you to come into, I think in yoga they would call it puppy pose, not really a yogi, but forearms down on the ground, knees underneath your hips, bottom in the air, gaze looking down towards the floor. So elbows are underneath my shoulders, my weight is forward, so my shoulders are bearing the weight with my elbows. Forearms down, fingertips reaching forward. I just want you to curl your toes under for me for a moment and try and find that stretch under the feet. So just pedal those feet for me in this position. So we're going to do a plank variation this evening from here. We're not going to use the ball for a moment. Okay, keeping those toes curled under, I want you to step the left foot back for me into what would look like a plank position. Keep your weight forward over your shoulders, but reach through the heel of the foot to push away. Take a breath here for me. As you exhale, I want you to see if you can lift the right leg off the floor in almost a little pike and then lower it back down. And then we're going to do the same again. We're going to take a breath here. We're going to exhale and lift into a little pike and then lower back down. So a little bit of strength going on. We're going to do that one more time, taking that breath in, exhale to lift, keep reaching back through the heel, hover, hold it here for me, keep breathing, lift up through your center, 2, 1, lower, bring that left leg back in. We reset, we take the right leg back. We reach through the heel, we take our breath. We exhale, we lift and hold in that mini pike, that left leg up towards the air, and then we lower it back down. We take another breath, we keep reaching through the heel, we keep the weight forward, we exhale and we lift, and we hold, and then we lower back down. We're going to go for one more here, taking that breath in, Lift and hold. Keep squeezing, keep lifting, keep breathing. Hold it here for me. For 3 and 2 and 1. We lower. We bring the foot in and we just take the weight back and we rest. We'll bring those arms back down by the side of the body. A nice bit of strength work going on. Good job. Not easy. Definitely not easy. Okay. Come back into that poppy position for me. One more variation of this exercise to do, then I promise I won't make you do any more. Curl the toes under once again. Take a breath in, step a foot back for me, reach through that heel. When you're ready, reach back and step through that other leg. Reaching through both of the heels now, lifting up through your tummy. Your shoulders have stayed on top of your elbows. You're pressing down through the forearms. You're squeezing your bottom. You're breathing in that plank. Keep your gaze down towards the floor, looking towards your forearms. Hold it here for a little longer for me. Breathe through the nose, out through the mouth. We're going to hold it for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step those legs back in, pop the knees down, sit back and rest. Whilst we're in this child's pose position, take the right hand and bring it under and through that left arm, looking through as we go into a cross, thread the needle stretch. And just hold that stretch just for a moment. Nice cross body stretch. Bring that hand back through, go to the opposite side, taking the arm through and under. And again, just allow yourself to sit back into that stretch. Coming back through, back to your child's pose. Just bring yourself up when you're ready in your own time. Turn yourself around for me and bring yourself back down onto the floor. You can grab your balls or your cushions if you have them. We're going to place it between the knees, lengthening that spine, back on the floor, back on the mat, through the crown of the head. Nose pointing up towards the ceiling, no blocks or pillows underneath the head for this next exercise. So the ball or the cushion between the knees is going to give us a little bit of an inner thigh activation. We're going to go into a little bridge work this evening. Chin myself down so I've got more room. Okay. So we're going to start with a pelvic tilt. So we're going to draw our breath in. As we exhale, we're going to tuck the pelvis up towards the ceiling, curling in towards the belly button, taking the spine through infant, peeling the spine up off the floor, reaching the knees away, creating lovely length through the front of the body, keeping the collarbone open and wide, holding at the top, finding a nice long line from the shoulders, ribs, hips out through the knees. Inhaling here. We're going to exhale and soften from the breastbone back down towards the floor. Keeping that nice connection between the ball, the cushion, or even nothing. If you haven't got anything, that's absolutely fine. Uncurl the pelvis right down to the bottom. Breath in at the bottom here. Exhale, curl up. So we open out the hip flexors. We open through the front of the body. We reach through the knees, enjoying that nice stretch all the way through the front of the body. Inhaling here. The glutes are going to be active as you come up into that bridge. They're working to keep us up here. And then when you're ready, we're going to soften and come back down, curling that spine away onto the floor. This time we're going to come up and hold into that bridge, taking that breath in, exhaling, curling up. We're going to hold at the top of the bridge. We're going to reach the arms up over the chest, and then we're going to allow them to fall behind our head as far as we can go without losing that nice long line through the front of the body. So if they don't come down to the floor, that's absolutely fine. Keeping the arms behind you, I want you to uncurl the spine now down towards the floor and just enjoying that lovely stretch that that gives you. When you get down to the floor, take a breath in and then exhale, tuck that pelvis. Curl back up into your bridge. Reach the knees away from you. Create lovely length through the front of the body. Take the arms back up and over your chest. And then as you soften the spine back down, bring the arms back down by the side of your body. We're going to take a breath in. We're going to curl up. We're going to bring the arms up and the bottom up in unison this time. Arms coming up over the chest. Holding at the top of the bridge, reaching the arms back behind you once again. Keeping them behind you as you uncurl the spine back down towards the floor. Find the length through the spine and release the pelvis. Breath in at the bottom, exhale, tuck the pelvis. Draw yourself back up, pressing down through those feet, reaching those knees away from you, squeezing those glutes to get you up to the top of your bridge. Holding here for an inhale, bringing the arms back up and over the chest. And as you exhale, soften and bring everything back down to the mat. We're going to do one more. We're going to take that breath in. The bottom's going to come up. The arms are going to come up. We're going to reach everything up. Take the arms back behind you. We're going to soften the spine back down towards the floor. We're going to take that inhale breath at the bottom of the movement. We're going to exhale and curl ourselves back up, reaching up to the top of that bridge. The arms are going to come back up and over the chest. And we're going to soften and allow everything to come down towards the floor and relax. Release the ball from between your legs for me. Take your legs and just straighten them out onto the floor. Flex your feet. Feel the stretch down the back of the legs. Point your toes, open up through the front of the legs. If you've got a ball and you still want to use it, grab it for me. Place it between your hands if you haven't, just hands by the side of your body. We're going to take a breath in and we're going to reach those arms up and over the head back behind us, keeping the rib cage connected to the floor. So you might not go quite as far. As we exhale, we're going to curl up through the head, neck and shoulders, bringing the arms back over. Press down through the back of the legs. Can we come all the way up and fold over our legs in a spine stretch forward? Keep the feet flexed if you can. Reset the spine at the top of that movement. We're going to roll back down towards the floor. Tuck the pelvis for me. Use your exhale breath. Find the top of your hips. Roll down to the shoulders. Curling back to the floor. Head comes down. Arms are going to go back overhead. We're going to take an inhale breath here. We're going to exhale and curl back up. Shoulders up. Spine coming up. Hips. Over we go. Shoulders over those hips. Reaching forwards. Energy going from heel towards bottom. Stacking that spine up at the top, resetting the shoulders. Breath in here, exhale, tuck the pelvis. Finding all that flexion that we can. Keep lifting up through the pubic bone to take that spine down and curling, lengthening. One more time, all the way up to the top for me. Exhale. Remember, you can do this with bent legs if that makes it that little bit easier for you. And enables you to come up, reach forward for me. And then reset that spine all the way up to the top. Relax the ball down. Okay. Turning around to your side. We're going to go into a mermaid. Ball, no ball, doesn't matter. If you've got a ball, same side as forward leg. If not, don't worry. Opposite arm is going to go out to the side. Hand is on that ball. We're going to take an inhale breath and reach up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, we're going to flex over, trying to create space between those ribs as we reach up and over in that mermaid stretch. We're going to come back through to the center, keep reaching up towards the ceiling and take that arm back down by the side of the body. And again, breath in as the arm comes up, reaching up, lifting up out of the hips, creating space between each of those ribs as we go over. We're going to take one more here as we come back into that position. Again, lifting up, reaching up, lengthening, 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 creating that gorgeous flexion. Over we go. Back into the center. If you're using a ball, pick it up and take it into a counter stretch for me. Over we go, and then you can just pop it down. And then release. Swap the legs. There's something quite satisfying about dropping the ball down on the other side, isn't there? There is for me anyway. Childlike behaviour. Hand on the ball. Opposite hand out towards the side. Take that breath in, reach up for me. Exhale, push the ball away. Find that flexion. Find the space between the ribs as we go over. Coming back in and back up. Reaching up, reaching up, reaching up. And back down. And again, lifting that arm up. Taking it over. Coming back into the center and back out. One more here, inhaling up, exhaling over, 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 over. Back in and up, and then take it into that gorgeous counter stretch, lifting up and over in the opposite direction. And release. Fabulous. Okay, reach your legs out in front of you for you. Have a little bit of separation between those legs. Flex your feet for me. Just to stretch all the way down the back of the legs. Again, if you've got a ball and you want to use it, just place it on the floor in front of you. So we've got a gentle V with those legs. Take a breath for me and then just work your hands forward on the floor or rolling that ball out as we go into a spine stretch. Reaching up and over and forwards. Hold it here. And then draw back in, back to a seated position. And again, taking that breath in, try and keep your feet flexed for me. Rounding the spine forward and down, just as far as you can reach and overdo it. And drawing back in, drawing back up. One more way, reaching forward for me and over. And coming back in and resetting. Okay, leaving the ball where it is, taking the arms out towards the side nice and wide, keeping the legs in that thing. We're going to go into a spine twist to a saw. So we're going to rotate round to the right hand side. We're going to take that little finger towards those little toes in a reach. We're going to come back up on the diagonal and come back into our center. We rotate to the opposite side. We reach towards those little toes. We come up on that diagonal and back into the center. So we rotate and to reach. So the back hand in this exercise, as you rotate, the thumb goes down towards the ground as your little finger reaches towards your little toes, back to the center. So we rotate the thumb down on that back hand as we reach the little fingers towards the little toes and come back to the center. So the saw. It's a really nice way to stretch and add a bit of rotation to finish our class. We're just going to do one more on each side and in, finishing on the left, reach and up and in, and rest those hands down, bring your legs together. Bring yourself up to a standing position for me. No balls required. Stand yourself up. Standing nice and comfy, feet forward, big breath in for me, arms coming up overhead. We're going to exhale and just flop forward and just let it all hang. Let the arms hang, the head hang. We're going to take a breath in, bringing ourselves back up to standing, big sweeping arms up overhead. And again, exhale down towards the floor, let those arms just hang like that. We're going to take another breath in. We're going to come up. This time, if you want to join me, come up onto your toes. And exhale, come down, drop those heels down and stretch. And again, breath in, coming up, sweeping those arms up, 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 up onto your toes. Take a balance and then soften. And then to do one more. Breath in, arms up, onto those toes, hold it at the top. Exhale, soften. We're going to hang out at the bottom. Let the arms hang, let the head hang. Let them sway from side to side. Think about lifting your bottom up towards the ceiling for you, really exaggerating that stretch all the way down the back of the legs. And when you've had enough of being upside down, we're going to bring ourselves back to the center. We're going to lift that bottom a little bit further up towards the sky, towards the ceiling. Can we get the hands down on the floor? Maybe a whole hand down, who knows? Take a breath in here for me. Exhale, start to uncurl. Tuck the pelvis under, reset your spine. Let the shoulders come back and down. Bring the head onto the top. And give everything a quick shake and a shimmy. And well done, ladies. We are done. Fabulous work. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. So no live class next week, but if you want to do that all again, I've just recorded it. So feel free. Let me just stop the recording actually whilst I'm gibbering on. There we go.